Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is.
God help Colorado, land of the free no more. Chains on the people, from the plains to the western shore. Leaders lost their way in a liberal haze. Time to rise up, set the Rockies ablaze. Colorado's bleeding, high crime on the streets. Denver's a war zone, can't walk without defeat. Immigrants pouring in, gangs like Trendy Agua run wild. Crimes unchecked, our safety defiled. Roads are crumbling, potholes everywhere. Taxes sky high, but they don't seem to care. Tables under siege, refunds disappearing fast. Liberal schemes stealing our cash at last. God help Colorado, we real leaders now. Tina Peters locked up a prison somehow for fighting the steel, standing tall and true. Polis barring with Trump, but he's looking like a fool. High taxes crushing families on the brink. Crime waves crashing. What do you think? God help Colorado, break these chains we bear. American spirit will fight anywhere. Our election integrity gone, dark money rules the game. Homeless camps sprawling, drugs fuel the flame. Polarized politics, Green Deal sell us out, but hope's on the horizon, no doubt. God help Colorado, we need leaders now. Tina Peters locked up a prison somehow for fighting the steel, standing tall and true. Police barring with Trump, but he's looking like a fool. High taxes crushing families on the brink. Crime waves crashing. What do you think? God help Colorado, break these chains we bear. American spirit will fight anywhere. Trump don't make idle threats, they're all going down. Colorado rising, taking back the crown. God help Colorado, but we're fighting through. Red, white, and blue, forever true.
Well, welcome back. I apologize for having to cut it. Sorry, guys, the video is kind of making me look grainy. Let's see if I can fix that. Is that better on your side? Okay, so apologize for not being with you guys yesterday. I will tell you, I am buying guns. So there's a couple things that I really enjoy doing. One, talking to you. Two, golfing. And three, buying guns. So I am back today. We're going to interview Casey. You've had him on. We've had him on before. He's running for governor. And frankly, there's a lot to talk about today. But I'm going to start by going straight into the interview with Casey. And then from there, we'll talk about what's happening in Colorado. We'll talk about what's happening in Iran. And I got to tell you, there's quite a bit that we should be not concerned with. We should be anticipating that's going to happen very shortly as it relates to the elections in the country. So with that, Casey, welcome to the show.
Howdy, man. I'm happy to be here, always.
It's good to be with you. I'm sorry I'm in a hotel in Phoenix, but how's the campaign going? How are things going on your end?
It's good. It's very challenging. I'm I'm learning a lot, and I don't mean in terms of how to do it. I'm learning a lot in terms of having new perspective of how everything works, and everything
Doesn't work the way you
people
think it does it? Doesn't work that way. I'm finding out the same thing in Colorado. I promise you.
I think the worst thing that we all have acting against us is what's referred to as groupthink. Do you know what I'm saying when I say that?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
The difficulty is the individual or the small groups, they're intelligent. And when they see something that's wrong, they like it on their own. But the problem is humans, they want to be part of a herd and a group. And what I see is this: both political parties, it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, the parties are garbage. They're gone. They're corrupt from the county level up. It's gone. It's gone. Like in a manner of speaking, I regret not running as an independent. I wouldn't have known it was this bad. It is this bad. It doesn't matter which party you think is the best. They're both horrible. And they're private entities.
Let's dig into that for a minute, because I think the same way that I've said that elections are fraudulent from end to end, and we haven't had a free and fair election in decades.
Yeah.
The degradation that we saw on elected officials and the disconnect that people had from politics had a lot to do with what happened the same thing happened in these Democrat and Republican Party, that the person that was put on the perch to run for office was not necessarily the best person for the people. It was chosen by this cabal that was going to eventually steal an election, whether it went left or right, in those particular environments. So we're actually facing the root of all evil, which is the idea that we don't have representative government, and that they've used this stealing of kabuki theater to make people think that there's a choice. And I think you're probably up against that now, where you're starting to see that the people inside the Republican Party are working against you in ways that it's embarrassingly unethical.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where it's fun. It's so bad it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a masochistic way to look at it. But it's become so incredibly clear that Vivek has been astroturf and what's the word, like bequeathed his way in. And early on, all these counties and people and individuals and stuff, that they're proud of themselves and patting themselves on the back for endorsing Vivek, because they're going to put all the resources to somebody who's not part of the machine, even though everything about it completely buys into like every single one of the horrible establishment. And to the point where my Lieutenant Governor, Kim Georgeton, she's amazing. It took her a while to see what some of us younger people and on the internet see, is that it's gone. And I had to talk to my people. I'm like, what are we doing? We're going to drive all around Ohio the next few months, begging and pleading and like acting like these county GOP parties matter, when they're just going to go ahead and endorse Vivek because they don't have a brain in a head, like they can't get past the groupthink. At this point, it's better if every single Republican on earth endorses Vivek, because the people look at it and go, this is wrong on their own. And that may be like a no-win scenario for me, but I got to a point where I'm like, I would rather have no endorsements from the machine whatsoever and make it so blatantly obvious that this is corrupt, it's gone. And frankly, Vivek in no way even champions the values of the GOP, which seems to have long since been forgotten, because both political parties operate merely as a mafia, and they're private entities. It's not a government entity. And I don't know. Maybe I'm the last one to show the machine is corrupt, man.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think you're the last one. I don't think you're definitely not the first one, and you won't be the last one. But here's what's interesting: if you draw the parallels of what you're facing and what I'm facing, they're identical.
Mm-hmm.
You have an inept GOP that, frankly, it can't get out of its own way. It has lost the trust and or the patience of the people that would align with the Republican Party. and they're doing it with their checkbooks. I know that the GOP in Ohio is not doing well, and I know the GOP in Colorado is not doing well.
Correct.
Because the people are overall disgusted by what the GOP has done holistically, and they are draining the resources of people in every state with these national campaigns to go in and say, hey, you need to vote for this populist guy over here. So the dollars that are going into different campaigns for, let's say I don't know, a candidate in Florida, they're sucking those dollars. They're creating this kind of fandom for that individual, and they're sucking dollars out of the local races. And then, the guys that are the billionaires that are out there, they're just funding whatever candidate is going to give them the most bang for the buck after the election is done. So it's what's really disheartening about that is that no matter where I go and who I talk to, Democrat, Republican, or Independent, Casey, they're all feeling the same way. They're feeling as if they're on a plantation and that they are slaves.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Right? And I hugged a black woman downstairs. It doesn't matter if she's black or green, but we were downstairs. I'm in Phoenix, and we just started talking. We were just standing outside, and we just started talking. And I was like, "Where are you from?" And she goes, "I'm from California." And I was like, "Ah, another person from California." And I just started laughing. But I said, "Who'd you vote for?" He goes, "Oh, you are not going there." And I was like, "Well, we just met. I just want to, we're not on a date or anything. I'm married. But I'd really like you to tell me who you voted for." She goes, "I didn't vote."
Oh.
And I went, "Well, somebody voted for you." You didn't vote. Somebody used it. I promise you, you did vote. And we laughed and had a good time about it. But she's a Democrat. She's been a lifelong Democrat. She grew up as a Democrat. Her family is Democrat. And she said, "Who did you vote for?" And I said, "I voted for President Donald J. Trump. And I did more for you than I did for me."
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked for about an hour. She missed her Uber ride. She actually canceled her Uber ride to have that conversation with me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very end of it, I said, it's going to be okay. I'm not going to share the contents of the conversation, but I'll tell you that she goes, "Look, we feel as if all we hear is these dog whistles in the media about black people this and black people that." She goes, "I walk down the street feeling like I should have a wheelchair." Imagine that. I should have a wheelchair. And I said, "No, you don't need a wheelchair. What you need is representation. You need somebody that actually cares about you, that's willing to actually listen, like go into the community and listen." She goes, "That's what I need." I go, "I'm running for governor of Colorado." And she goes, "You can never win." And I said, "Why?" She goes, "Because you actually care."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it for a minute, and I gave her a hug, and I was like, "I'm going to win. I'm going to do it differently, but I'm going to win." And anyway, so I got her phone number so I told her to watch the show and had a conversation.
Yeah.
So she's watching the show now, but
cool.
But the conversation, Casey, was the same conversation we're having now, just from a different perspective of feeling like that the system has been designed to make us slaves.
Yes, it has.
How does that make you feel?
Feel like buying more ammunition.
I got it. Just tell me where to send it.
Yeah, that is actually how it makes it feel. I gotta be honest. Everything going on in the last while, there's a whole hell of a lot of people that need to be hanged. I'm running for governor, and I'm saying that right now. It's just flat out true.
Yeah. Well, it's gotten so it's a self-licking ice cream cone. It's gotten so much so that there's nothing left for us. There's no meat left.
That's true. That's true. Right? The walls have totally closed in. There's just no way forward. I mean, I was saying that on my campaign. I built that 100+ mile a gallon recyclable car that on straight diesel has a lower carbon footprint per mile than an EV. You can think of 11 ways to Sunday why that's good. There's no investment in anything relating to that. The only thing anybody's dumping any investment in is AI and data centers, and that's not going to help humanity in any way and creates actual no value or product for the people. That's only a net loss. I built Genius Garage to fix where American educational system's broken. They don't want it fixed. You know, in Ohio, we got something called Ohio Means Jobs, where they'll pay like $7,000 to $10,000 a year per student for a curriculum and demographic that matches what Genius Garage is. But the fine print is it can only be for like drug addicts, felons, alcoholics, people born in extreme poverty. So Ohio will help young people if they either can't or don't want to work, but they won't help the ones who want to. That's another way our society is screwed. So all the work I've done building an educational program and helping people doesn't matter. There's no support in any way, unless you get a rich guy that cares. But let's be honest, most rich guys don't. That's why they're rich. That's not knocking them. I'm just telling you a fact of life. And then
I believe that I mean, I don't qualify as being rich, but I qualify as a guy that's giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars every year.
Sure.
For most of my life, right? So I'd qualify as well off. And I think there's a lot of people like me that are well off that feel guilty about being well off while watching people around us that we grew up with not be well off, right? So
I get it.
But at the same time, we have to break this cycle, Casey. I think you're breaking the cycle. I think you have to adopt the conversation we're having right now in your speech as governor when you go around and talk at these different events. I think it's important for you to talk about the haves and the have-nots. I think that's why it was so important for me to have you on, is because I think you're probably experiencing the same thing. I've got this guy, Victor Marx, and have you ever heard of Victor Marx?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
So he's the biggest paper tiger there is in the country. Worse than Beck, I think. He says he saved 45,000 women and children over the last 2 decades.
Okay.
But there's no record of even one woman being saved. And you have a couple women that have come forward to say that Victor Marx has trafficked them.
Oh.
And his name's not Victor Marx, it's Vaughn Kennedy. Anyway, so we have this thing that's happened, who, by the way, got endorsed by Mike Flynn and a bunch of other people for governor of Colorado, even though he's never had any sort of...
Really?
No, it's crazy. It's the craziest thing.
It's wild.
No experience in business.
Okay.
No experience in the real world. Just a guy that...
Yeah, well, no, I hear you there, and that's wild. You know, the other thing is like the little watch company I'm doing. I'm sitting at my watchmaking desk, and even prototyped a watch that meets NASA requirements for going to the moon, and we're doing the Artemis missions. And I bring that up because, you know, we got tariffs on foreign goods, which includes Swiss watches. So we're doing tariffs because the reason's supposed to get manufacturing come back to the States, but there's no support. There's no support in any way to do anything. And you know, at 44 years old, I've spent so much of my life just trying to make the world better and create and invent and create business pro formers and things to do stuff. There's just nowhere to go. And, you know, our own life, you know, we're not making any more money. Housing prices have more than doubled for no good reason other than it's being artificially created and manufactured. There's no confidence in any markets. God, I don't even know what they're doing anymore. And then AI comes in and it's going to kill like half of white collar jobs. All that's going to do is create a depression immediately, a Great Depression. But they don't care that they do that because they're going to be the ones to dictate what the new order is. And honestly, man, you're one of the few podcasts I'll talk openly with and honestly. We get a little negative because there's no nice way out of this.
No, well, I mean, look, I think there is maybe, and let me tell you why.
Tell me what you think. I want to know.
So let me take a little bit of and inject you with a little bit of hopium that I think that you can resonate.
I'm the worst governor candidate right now because I'm like, there's no nice way out of this.
But you're recognizing. Here's the problem with you. You've tried to make the world a better place because you recognize that it's not a good place for 40% of our country. It's not, right? And that the haves get to get away with raping children and get to hide behind it for 2 decades. And when they finally do come forward, they do so in such a way that they're like, there is no there, even though Bannon's on it and all these other people on our side are on it. You know, we're going to explain away and we're going to give them grace. And I think to myself, fuck grace. I don't want to give them grace. I want those pariahs to go back into the hole they came out from, because we actually walk past the victims and we revere people because someone told us that that's the football team captain and we have to follow them, right? Now, at the same time, as we're having this conversation, I had that conversation with that young woman that was downstairs, and I gave her a hug. It was a genuine hug that I know for a fact when she hugged me, that was a hug that she needed, right? That was a hug that she held on to. She embraced me for longer than a normal hug. It was uncomfortable for me, but she needed it, right? That is how the population feels right now. Like, we're at that place where we are in perfect alignment with the people, the have-nots. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. We have to be very careful when we say that there is no hope, when you're staring at people that are the answer to no hope. Those people deserve a voice. They deserve to have opportunity. They deserve not to live in an environment. And that's not an entitlement, by the way. That's just a major fact that if the haves continue to do what they're doing, Mitch McConnell getting walked through the halls of Congress while he's drooling on himself with a handler telling him how to vote.
Yeah.
Right? That can't be real. And that's our elected leader. That's our strength. They're weaker than rainwater. Casey, we could push them over. We could push them over with breathing on them. Right? Yeah. Those are the people that are holding on to the reins of government right now, and they're leaning into the military. The police. They're leaning into the FBI. They're leaning into people. But you saw what happened on January 6th when 1 million men, women, and children showed up at the Capitol to say we've had enough when you stole the election in 2020. So I believe, and I went 3 weeks ago to meet with 300 Democrats. I absolutely 100% believe that Democrats, independents, and Republicans are the answer to this, and we will never have to raise the sword if we can get them to realize how much power they have and how much of a slave they are. And we are really close. We are really close. Now it's just a matter of who do they get behind? They're going to get behind you in your state. They're going to get behind me in my state. They're going to get behind me and 200 or 300 other men, women, and men and women out there. So I think we can get out of this without firing a shot. But we also know who our target is, right? And our target is not Democrats. Our target is not independents. Our target is the leadership that have betrayed and stolen from us for decades, that took our budget in Colorado from $12 billion a year 7 years ago to $40 billion a year, while putting every tollway in place, tripling the property tax, taking away their entitlements, stealing their Second Amendment rights, letting crazies out on the street while stealing our Second Amendment rights. I mean, look, the reality of it is that we put ourselves in a position where we would debate the ridiculous, and we should be telling people basically to piss off and building a fraternity of people in our community to walk in and rip those pride flags off the walls in the schools, and tell them you will put up a U.S. flag, and that little creep that wears, a follow me around thing that raises the LGBT, you're fucking fired. Get out, right? That's what I think happened. Anyway,
Matt's coming. So I had a thought and I lost it.
Hit it. Come on, I'll remind you. Lay down the sword, pick up the people. Focus on.
Here's the trouble. I'm not gonna be doom and gloom here. I'm gonna analyze the situation with our broken down race car that is our government and world right now. Yeah. The position I'm in is awesome because I have the support from the people. And even though that I'm shadow banned on X and elsewhere, word is getting out. So we're already putting in a dent into a guy that literally has the entirety of the machine. All of the state GOP, the White House backing, every single thing, every bit of money. The fact that I'm even a blip on the radar is unbelievable. So value per dollar, me and my campaign is obliterating the billionaires. Right. But of course he's winning at the moment. So the thing that frightens me, though, because groupthink exists so badly within a party, I'm running as a Republican, so you try to play reasonably nice because you have to in politics. You got to be able to work with people on both sides of the aisle and all around. But by virtue of playing nice, you can't necessarily go full volume at every single thing you feel and just specifically run in one thing. And then the other thing that's difficult too, by virtue of me having to run in a primary for the Republican primary against Vivek, I have to run against just Republicans. and they're accustomed to seeing news and such only a certain way, like from the entertainment show Fox News and programmed by that, and not thinking for themselves, many of them. That becomes difficult because they're already conditioned. And then and it's so challenging because then hypothetically, if you get to the primary, then you're already labeled because you've been fighting a war with just a certain segment of people that don't even represent all conservatives before you even get in the general. So I feel like we're at a place where it's time for America to literally just say no to both political parties, just completely, just cold turkey, get rid of them, and only think about independence. I don't. I think the parties are horrible. I mean, we have other issues like no term limits in Congress, and basically insider trading is legal, and lobbyists and such, but the parties are horrific. They destroy free thought. They destroy innovation. A political party is so, like, for instance, one of the mechanics of what fascism actually is government regulation of industry. And the reason I didn't like electric car mandates coming from like the Biden administration or Gavin Newsom is because it destroys innovation. It destroys building a car that's actually a good solution for people, like what I did, something you can afford, that maybe it's good for the environment and it's recyclable and all that jazz. But no, we're building electric cars, which are terrible and toxic and expensive. But they're getting mandated by like Biden and Newsom. So that's fascism. It's a form of it because government regulation of industry. And in a weird sort of way, when you have a private entity, which is a political party, be it Democrats or Republicans, you're stifling, shall we say, innovation or growth personally of society by having these damn parties ruining everything as a bizarre little industry of self-hate and infighting. I honestly, man, it's the parties. They have to go. I'd like to talk about that. How do we defeat that? How do we do that in a generation? Because the baby boomer generation, that poor generation was, I think, probably the most successfully psyoped generation in American history. I mean, just their whole lives. And now that they're only watching certain news sources, which isn't actual broadcasting news, it's entertainment channels, which obviously includes Fox and others. That has quagmired an entire nation and leaving young people screwed. And like, for instance, the political parties, I'll give you an example, and I don't want to go into this topic right now. I'm just going to mention its existence.
Right.
But abortion, right to life, pro-life, pro-choice, all that jazz, right? The fact that the political parties make such a big deal of this, in the sense, because it is a big deal, I'm not undermining it in any way, but it's become its own disgusting industry. So these big PACs and such that grow and get tons of money to fight something, they only exist if they're fighting it. And that's not healthy. That's not good for society. So it's really, my experience has shown me from the inside out just how much the two political parties are destroying America and just how corrupt they are and how quagmired society is through the psychological aspect of groupthink that's holding us back.
Yeah. So let's talk about what you just said, which I think is, I think it's interesting because, you know, abortion is actually an issue that has been at the forefront of decisions that were made. So we walk past policy and get really just emotionally charged into this idea that we're going to save the day or not save the day based upon whether or not we support or don't support abortion. And the reality of it is that emotionally charges and gets people, it doesn't matter, all elections are fraudulent anyway, but let's hypothetically say that's an excuse they could use to say that more people voted for a particular candidate over another. Casey, I think we missed the point. We missed the forest through the trees because these organizations that you talk about, in large part, were designed not to solve the problem, to perpetuate themselves, and to basically feed their faces with an unsolvable issue because we're never looking at the problem, we're only looking at the symptom. So case in point, I went into Aurora and I talked to Democrats. I actually like Democrats. They're nice people, right? Here's the weird part. I asked how many people in there had an abortion. 300 people. How many hands do you think went in the air? there's probably 70% women. Of the
Okay.
70%, what percentage do you think raised their hands?
I'm going to say 10 people.
No, try like half.
What?
Half of the women raised their hand because they had experienced or had an abortion.
How
Yeah.
many people is that? Like 100 plus?
300. Half. Well, 70% of the 300. So, roughly 200.
And they were like,
I'd say probably 80 or 90 raised their hands.
this was like a all Democrat kind of shindig, you said?
Or Colorado. Yeah. So let me kind of get to my point. I said, how many of you would have had the abortion had you had free health care and free childcare? And only about 5 raised their hand.
You're kidding.
And I got kind of emotional, and I said, let me explain to you what's happening. You're genociding an entire generation. Most of the people in there were black or brown, right? You're genociding an entire generation and solving a problem by creating a thing that basically is leading to more people that are not Americans getting access to free healthcare and free childcare, while they step over the bodies of Americans, make you pay for it, and then strip all of you of opportunities so that you will kill your babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number of people that literally got it at that point was astounding, because they were like, yeah, the Somalis get free healthcare,
Oh.
right? And the Arabs get free healthcare, and the Arabs can have 6 wives that they put in 6 different houses, and they all end up having 4 or 5 kids in each house, and they own 4 or 5 houses on the street, and each one of them is subsidized, gets free healthcare, free childcare. They're not American, or they just became a first American, but they're, this is a single mom, right? Well, it's really not. It's a guy that has a harem with 25 children, and we're paying for free healthcare and free childcare, and allowing them to indoctrinate and change the structure of our schools and do all sorts of crazy things in our environment, and we have to pay for it, right? Now you start getting to the things that affect people, so now they start feeling like, all right, now I can identify who's stabbing me, and it's the traitors that said that they were there to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
I mean, and what I said is, so let's say 200 people, 100 people raised their hand. 5 raised their hand to say that they still would have gotten the abortion if they had free healthcare, free childcare, which means those people are making economic decisions, not decisions on whether or not they would have that baby.
I know. I have a friend of mine that is part of a pro-life related charity called Let Them Live, and their whole deal is identifying women who are considering having an abortion, and then offering them help with like support, health bills, counseling, things to help get their lives on track, so they perhaps find that they don't need to. And I think that's a really healthy way to go about it.
Yeah, look, I'm really concerned that we have created a very stupid society, right, of really dumb people. And Casey, it's not because they're dumb; it's because they're not having these conversations. Nobody is walking in talking to them about aha moments. Like, look, when I said the word genocide in that room, everyone was like, "Holy shit!" Somalis are having 4 or 5 babies. Arabs are having 4 or 5 babies, and we're killing 4 or 5 babies on the average every hour.
Yeah.
Holy shit. No wonder they don't care about us. No wonder they're giving all of our money to them.
Yeah. Some of the difficulties here is that the ability for us to reach people, like for instance, me on X, I'm shadow banned to heck and back.
I'll share all your stuff, send it over to Patrick every morning. We'll put you in a group.
Okay.
Just
I
put
appreciate it.
Here, and I will share the shit out of it.
Thank you. And thank you. And I bring that up not out of like self-pity, but I bring that up out of a point to make relating to societally, because they're shadow banning me because I'm harsh on H-1B visas. That's what every sign points to. And even though I only have like 50,000 followers on X, I can ratio people with 1 million, 2, 3 million views if they're silly. So that's good, but it proves I'm shadow banned. Now I bring that up because the difficulty for society is, who all controls the media? If these billionaires are the ones that make money off of illegal immigration and just taking advantage of complete societies and pushing us in this bad way, how do we come together to talk to any about it? Because we don't actually have news anymore. Our social media is biased. It's all controlled, and I'm not sure how to break through that. I'm really not. Because if you're going to reach people, you can't when all of your media and communication is guided, manufactured, censored. You can't. And I watch it on a daily basis with X and other things, how we are being programmed like a wild animal in a cage is getting poked with a stick. And it's not real. So I'm not certain how to beat this. Sorry, go ahead.
I just told you how to beat it. You got to talk to you have been, and I'm just giving you free advice. It's worth what you pay for it.
Yeah.
H-1Bs are not the problem. The fact is that people are being treated like slaves. We have to unite in the message and make the message make sense to the people that are being stabbed so they can see what's truly happening to them. Every time you abort a baby and you're a mother, you lose a part of yourself, right? You go backwards and you have resentment. There's a ton of things that you have.
Yeah.
All the things when you grew up, you thought, I don't care, you're black, white, yellow, purple, it doesn't matter. When you were growing up, the things that were defined you is that you had a picture in your mind of what the future looked like. Like every child has it, right? But now they don't have that picture. And you know what? They can't even expect that. They can't even plan for that unless you're a haves. And the haves, it's roughly 20,000 people in the country, 30,000, 50,000, whatever it is. All the people that are on Epstein Island, right? Those are the people that are the protected class. And so we have to be able to speak the language of what people are feeling. And for so long, everyone has told them what they felt without ever describing what they're really going through. Like, what are the indicators? Like, why do they choose abortion? Why do they, why do we have people that are able to come over here from different countries on the H-1B, steal jobs, and frankly, they're dumber than rocks, right? Let's be honest. I've hired people from other countries, and frankly, we don't have any coders in our company. We have one. I'm sorry, we have one. Everyone else is here. I hire slow, I fire fast. None of them have been able to make it because they're retarded, right? So I'm just telling you that the best people in the world for work and for things are right here in the United States. We are the warriors. But the people out there that are hurting, that want that opportunity, we have to be able to talk to it. And here's what's going to happen. You can call him, what's that guy's name you're running against?
Vivek.
Yeah, you can call him H-1B Vivek, right?
Yeah.
That's who he is, right? He's H-1B, right? You're the American candidate. You're the candidate that's going to stand up for the people, the Democrat side, the Republican side, and the independent side. Just work the problem, Casey. You've been working the problem for decades, right? You were building shit that was cool long before they even knew it was cool, right? And frankly, you can win this. You can win in your state by just working and saying it. We're going to work the problem. I've been working the problem while people have told me I can't do things for a long time. And you know what? So have you. You haven't had a voice. They shut down my voice. Ignore H-1B Vivek, right? Ignore him because he doesn't matter. The people do. And then every single day, just talk to the people. Like, what problem are we going to solve today? Ask the people. Why is 20% of your state, just like 20% of our state, running away from education? You know why? Because they suck. Education sucks. Because the teachers union has a grip on all the parents' balls. That's why. And the fathers are too busy pissing at the pub. At least if you're going to lose, Casey, lose doing what you do best. Working that fucking problem and actually getting across the finish line so people understand what the problems are, at least in the future.
That's fair. And that's precisely the plan. Because, even hypothetically, if you don't win, you need to win. Does that make sense?
Sorry for the F word.
Oh, I've already gotten in trouble this week for using the F word.
They got mad at me in this deal. I'm like, listen, I'm I'm hanging out with a bunch of sailors here, and I'm sorry it degraded me, but I want the audience. I saw your comment. I saw it. I want everybody to understand that it's super important that we stop letting evil even have a breath, even debate them, right? H-1B Vivek can't beat you. He can't beat you in building a car, can't beat you in even starting a company or running a company, because you learned how to run a company without somebody putting in a bunch of money to have a fake company get bolstered up to be able to basically swipe out billions of dollars they never deserved having to begin with.
Yeah. That's true. It's true. Yeah. So how'd you get in trouble for using the F word? What'd you do?
I've been trying not to cuss, brother. I've been trying not to actually let myself get to a place where I became the very thing that I'm fighting against, and I just
I'm gonna argue in favor of occasional cursing. You ready?
Yeah, go give it to me.
It's more efficient. Why in the heck wouldn't you? Like, if I'm speaking in the garage to like an Italian, okay, a military guy or a mechanic, do you know how much faster we can communicate and express levels of importance and detail right now? I am so tired of corporate talk and being all nice and everybody getting over it. Not to mention the fact we're living in like fifth generational informational world war right now. It's like, oh, I'm sorry if I use some ammunition of English words effectively here. Yeah, I did earlier this week. I did a social op where I made a rage bait post because I got a tip that Vivek's camp was going to try to label me, my campaign as unserious and me as clownish. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, so I made a post that I knew it would make people lose their minds in conservative land, and I took a picture of me in a bright orange Lamborghini flipping the bird from the driver's seat. And that'll make people mad already. That's a trigger point. And I said,
because the car's orange. Who actually paints a Lamborghini orange?
Yeah, I know, but like it's already offensive just visually. And so what I said was, just a thought. Why the F should I worry about obeying the speed limit when the president can't even hold accountable the Epstein people? I said, at real Donald Trump, effing take care of this. Sincerely, we the effing people, Putsch. With me like flipping the bird in a Lamborghini. So that's 3 F-bombs directed at Trump and making Washington, D.C. hold accountable the Epstein files with the anecdote, which is fair. Because if we don't have any law at the top for horrible atrocities, then why should I give a crap about not breaking laws that don't hurt anybody? Fair. That's a fair thing to say. It's accountability. So that made everybody on X lose their mind. Lose their minds. Especially the MAGA crowd. They lost their minds. And so 4 hours later, I wrote, I got to remember exactly what I wrote because I knew this would happen. And so, give me 1 second. But how it got fun was I caught somebody in my social trap, and it was so perfect. So what I did, and let me look up the reply. Okay, here it is. I posted a few hours later. I got a tip that the paid pro-Vivek camp and bots were going to smear me as unserious and clownish. In one post, I baited them all, including those wanting to cover Epstein. Back to business, Putsch for Ohio. I still like trains. And I just put a picture of me like on the flight line in Nellis Air Force Base, right? Because then people are going to be like, what just happened? And so I went through the day, a couple days, a little bit later, and then I made a video that I posted and put this up here. But why it got really interesting was the pro-Vivek and MAGA crowd that all lost their minds. Milo Yiannopoulos commented on my post and then made his own post saying how unserious I am and clownish, and he's disappointed in me. And I'm like, ooh, that's the same verbiage. So then I used AI to analyze my rage bait post for all the new replies and quote tweets and such. And it gave like an 80 to 90% chance that there was an orchestrated, non-organic effort to label me that, because the verbiage being used is not typical for MAGA, and everything was coming out of the pro-Vivek camp. And the Milo one also fits that scenario. And then when I put that post afterward that says I baited everybody. That's when Milo wrote a big thing and says, my friends were all right. Your campaign, you are unserious and have no political acumen. And so I ran that through AI too. And then one of the guys I was working with thought about it and he goes, wait a minute. He's talking about his friends. Who are his friends?
Yeah,
Because with everything, there's a little bit of an omission, right? So we ran it, and Milo, if we're not mistaken, he was shown recently of being leaked in a signal chat with Pete Hegseth and JD Vance. And who was publicly was said to come in and support Vivek's campaign, but JD Vance's team. And JD Vance's wife is Indian, allegedly introduced to him from Vivek, and they named their kid Vivek. Like it's so absurd. So I did a video reading all that and pulling it out. What?
Who named their kid Vivek?
JD Vance. Look it up.
No.
Dude. Yes.
All right, I gotta look it up.
They're both tech bro buddies. So I read this whole thing synopsis on outing it all, and then I did an English impersonation of Milo, just to troll that weird English guy. Am I right on this?
Yeah, you're right. Holy crap.
Yeah, how do you like them apples, huh?
Wow.
So anyways, everybody lost their mind because I did the rage bait post. And my team the next morning, I was like 20 minutes late to our meeting. And I come into the group meeting and everybody's like freaking out. And I'm like, hey, and then they start freaking out on me. I'm like, hold on. Did anybody look at my post after that one? No. I'm like, would you like me to read it to you? And then they quieted up and they started getting bothered again, which to be fair, I understand why, because I put something out there politically, everybody lose their mind on. And you don't normally play like an op like that as a political candidate. And then I'm like, and then they started getting on my case again and go, stop, do you want to know my plan? So I told them. And for 2 days before I put out the video explaining it and doing the whole expose on the AI and what it was all about, everybody was losing their mind trying to get me to stop and delete everything. And eventually I just did it. And then I heard behind the scenes that people were mad that I put the video out, and then they started watching it and then came back and go, okay, I've realized he's smarter than us, and I'm just going to learn to trust the process. So maybe it was a terrible political move, but darn it, I'm going to have to play unconventional warfare with these people if they think they're so smart and they're going to wreck me, because I'm not going to just keep being their dancing marionette clown in Plato's allegory of the cave.
So now I'm gonna give you some more advice.
Hit me.
Because I get attacked from both sides. The Democrats and the Republicans. And I got a phone call from a Democrat friend of mine who's an operative who said that I'm one of his favorite people. I've known him for a long time. So I've known him for nearly, I don't know, a little over 20 years. And he's worked in Washington and all over the place, right? He used to work for, I don't want to out him because everyone will know who he is. But anyway, so he called me. He goes, Joe, the Democrats are scared of you and the Republican candidates are scared of your ability to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
You have two really big problems. And so they're going to throw things at you. And he said, stop punching down. Well, this is a guy that works for one of their campaigns, right? He told me, he goes, stop punching down. Stay on the issues, continue to push the issues, talk about your candidates in such a way that you're ingratiating yourself to them, but that you're telling them that what they're doing is wrong, that they don't have an understanding of what the people need. But stay articulate, stay the course, and ignore them. Call them out by name only in jest.
Fair.
You must be talking about Vivek. Oh, okay. And then get right back to the mission. You are invisible. You don't matter. Let me tell you what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to revamp this. I'm going to revamp education, get rid of the union. I'm going to doge the Ohio, whatever you want to call it, and stay focused. Because when you're focused, people listen. When you're not focused, it's the same little cat fights that you have out there, and they're baiting you into it, right? I know because they bait me into it on both sides, right? And sometimes I take a bait, and I'm gladly will take the bait on a pedophile protector like this guy Kyle Clark in Denver who works for 9 News. I'll take the bait because I don't like pedophiles and I don't like people that protect pedophiles. So I'll say something about him because the story came out that he protects pedophiles. So I'll take the bait. But then I get back to the issue. And then if you get back to the issues, dude, you have an entire garage full of problems. You're like Nikola Tesla, right? You solve big problems. You don't solve small ones. And the reason why they're stepping away from you is because you solve big problems. So it doesn't matter who Vivek is. Vivek can kiss your ass. He can kiss my ass. He can kiss everybody. Nobody cares about Vivek. He's a little man, right? Just be who you are and tell people this, I'm going to fix it. And if you do that, you will win. If you do that, more people will listen.
Well, we've got like 50 pages of policy to start rolling out this next week.
You just talk about it. And nothing is better than when you speak. I know because I watch your videos, right? I watch your podcast. I get entrenched in your podcast. I watch it twice, right? And I don't like people's podcasts. I like Kyle Serafin's podcast. I like Casey's podcast. That's what I like, right? So, and my guys know because I'm like, hey, did you hear what Casey said? Get him back on.
I do funny things now and then. Not funny, but like interesting things now and then.
Look, more people on every side of the party right now feels hopeless. Wheels are coming off the bus. Let's put the wheels back on the bus. And let's start talking about the fact that Vivek is not the answer because Vivek is
correct
representative of the thing that got you to where you are right now.
That's exactly correct. I got to let me read you my favorite comment. I think you'll like this. This person writes in my last video where I outed this psyop. He writes, honestly, could not be more proud of another American right now. Intelligent, observant, working the system that's been working us. And did you have your balls replaced with titanium? So proud to support you. So glad to be in this movement with what I consider my kind of American. God bless, Godspeed, sir. I think that's a great comment.
Yeah. More and more every day, people come and tell me, Joe, you can win, and people do love you, right? Even people that are on, and I know this about you, Casey, because I have friends that live there, and they're all rooting for you quietly while they listen to this group speak, kind of talk in the shadows. So be the guy to stand out. Be the guy to do what I know you can do, right? Work that freaking problem. And then tell people how you're going to solve the problem, but always talk to the pain they're in. People are in an immense amount of pain at every level. Even guys that are making $250,000 a year are still trying to figure out how they can hold on to that job, knowing that the end is near. Could be tomorrow that they lose that job and they're back down to $100,000 a year, now trying to figure out how they can pay their bills on a $250 salary.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. By the way, did you know that when you're running for office, it's basically impossible to make a living?
I do.
I'm finding that challenge right now.
Yeah. So just so you know, I separate my time. I go to different events, make sure I have time with my family. I'm out here working to, I'm buying guns and negotiating contracts because it's a tough market in Colorado with people stealing liberties every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm constantly involved in customers' expectations and getting new clients. And I'm kind of the shiny toy everyone wants to be around. So, that just means that you have to work more hours and you have to, find time to make sure you delineate the time you have with your children and your wife. But that, you just got to work a few more hours, bro. We know how this works. But I know what you're talking about because I'm sleeping less now.
That's yeah.
And you can call me. You want a punching bag? Call me. Come out to Colorado. I'm always here for you. I'll come out.
It's funny. I was going to go to the shooting range today, so I wanted to pick up some ammunition. And as I was checking out, I rubbed my eye. I got something in my eye. Had to go to the bathroom to get my contact out. I totally wrecked it and didn't get to go. It's funny, isn't it? It's just silly. It's like, hey, I'm going to go do this for some therapy, for some fun, and feel like a human being again today. And then I just rub my eye and screw it all up.
Oh, I mean, look, you gotta. the thing that makes you so powerful is your ability to still see the good while you're weeding through all the bullshit, right?
Fair.
You can tell when you get worn down. I can tell when you get worn down. I can see when you do videos and it's a struggle, and I can see when you do videos when it's not, right? But I'm also, and this is me giving you advice freely. I mean, this is like a conversation we would have off air, right?
So, did you see my 2 videos this week?
I saw the one on Monday. Is it Monday?
How'd you like that one? That was in the field.
So this is where I get into, like, when you're on, and you can tell because everyone engages in it. Everyone. So
Yeah, that one was interesting. Somebody called me or texted me and that there were ICE protesters in my hometown. I'm like, guess I'm gonna go make a video. I was out doing errands.
let's play it.
You wanna?
Yeah, let's play it.
Yeah, pedophile. He votes for pedophiles.
I'm being called a pedophile.
And have you noticed how many people flip us off or are jerks?
No, I haven't
I've been
noticed
doing.
It says ICE out now, and yours is frogs against fascism. What?
You're running against Vivek.
Yeah, sure am.
Oh my God.
I am running against
Well,
Vivek.
that is awesome.
My name's Casey.
Hi, Casey. I'm not shaking your hand.
Okay, that's all right. May I see your sign? If America isn't breaking your heart, you don't love her enough. Yeah, America is breaking my heart.
Hey, can you guys help us? There's a loser right here.
Yeah. Do what?
I was just interviewing
He's like harassing us.
Yes.
No human is illegal. Okay, let's go. As you can expect, the young women with brightly colored hair have no idea why they're there. They want to be important and be noticed. And they have no idea how anything works or why they're there. That's why they're on the left.
That was a pretty good cut.
It was a really good cut. But you
There were some funny moments in that whole thing. But I tell you, I had an intro to that video, and then I had my outro talk. But when I went and engaged with the people, I did it in the least combative way possible. And I don't want to like tip them off. Like when I came by, I was recording, but I was like not giving any like adversarial body language, and I kind of waved like nice. And I went up, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I just kept it super neutral. The only time I said something that was a pointed question was when those girls lost their mind, because the one girl couldn't answer anything. I'm like, hey, so what are you doing? She's like, protesting. I'm like, which protesting? They're like, ICE. I'm like, so what about it? And she's like, I'm not comfortable. And I'm like, and I asked something else and she didn't want to answer. She's like, and I go, and this other girl comes and like yells or something. And I said, so you'll scream on the side of the street, but you don't want to talk about it. And that's when the other girl jumped in and got all up in my case and like calling me a loser and a pedophile.
But they knew who you were.
One person did. I think it took them a while to figure it out, because after I was editing the video, I'd see people in the background like lurking and whatnot.
But I think they knew who you were. And look, the ones that don't know who you were didn't even know why they were there.
I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah.
So you're talking to the drebs of society that are probably paid to be there with a no-show job and maybe.
Or they're just young people that want to be part of something.
No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger. Let me just tell you what it is.
Tell me. I'm trying to be nice to them.
Listen, these are people that got stabbed. Like somebody walked up and stabbed them. They're bleeding. They have an infection. And somebody else walked up to them and said, it's those people over there that stabbed you, when they're the ones that actually stabbed them. They have no opportunity. Their education is shit. They really don't know how to work a problem. They couldn't. I mean, you could walk them out there, put a bulb, tree bulb, and a shovel, and they wouldn't know what to do with it. They'd be like, well, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
You're like pulling on the tree, like, what do I do with the tree? They drag the tree on the street. They have no idea how to work that problem, right? And they have YouTube, which is even worse. All they had to do is YouTube what to do with a tree and a shovel. And it would say, dig a hole and drop the tree in it.
I know.
So you're not dealing with people that have no vision. right? They don't have a vision. So you got to give people a vision of why they're in that position and why.
Well, and the funniest thing about it is they're protesting in Perrysburg, Ohio, man. Perrysburg was one of 2 cities in America laid out by Congress. Our roads are still called South Boundary, East Boundary, West Boundary, because that's the encampment from the Battle of 1812. It's like America before chain stores and credit cards and Norman Rockwell. There's no ICE people here. Like, if Perrysburg is a nice community, read into that what you want. Like, what are you doing protesting here?
But they don't know that. They don't have any idea what they're fighting for. They just know whatever they have hurts. And I didn't realize it, man. I got to tell you, until I sat with 300 Democrats, I wouldn't have had that conversation that I had with that woman last night. I wouldn't have given her a hug.
Mm.
45 minutes with her. She wouldn't have canceled her Uber because she needed to talk. Like, none of that stuff would have happened, right? And I just feel like working the problem is the way we actually get to the end. And people want it. Man, they want it so bad.
That's a fair point. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
I think you have more power than you know. And I think your ability to do things are on point, bro. I mean, I mean, look, win, lose, or draw, the people are going to come out behind you in a way you've never seen happen before if you work that problem.
That's fair. You know what I think I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to record a different video than I was going to put out tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll vote for you.
I appreciate that. Same goes. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I am really busy. The same thing you're dealing with, I'm dealing with too. My kids are older though, so they don't really want to hang out with me right now. They're young adults. They want to go play, right? So, I'm good. I'm more good. The fact that I don't know what God's doing in my life, but it's pretty amazing stuff. And I got this lawsuit with Coomer, and I got different problems than you have, but I still am working the problem. Still paying attention, being present, and just trying to finish well, no matter what it is that I'm on. But so yeah, same issues you're dealing with the GOP. Same things that piss you off, piss me off, which means, by the way, it's endemic to the entire mechanism, the model. But
yeah.
But President Trump sees it. And he's trying.
I see him coming around here and there, and in some ways surprises me. How do you feel about him right now?
He's the CEO, commander in chief. And I think that you have to take the good with the bad, because CEOs are rarely right all the time. And we basically give him a batting average and say, if you don't bat 100, we're not on your side. And people are like, I'm running away from you because you didn't do this right or you didn't do this right. President Trump deserves the ability to finish well. If you think that he's going to put his family in the same position that he was in 4 years ago, and if you think that they're not going to come after you if they promised they did, he already knows how the game's played. He knows how the sausage is made. So he's going to accelerate in areas. He's going to start putting pressure in other areas. But he's a very smart man, right? So I stand behind him 100%. I stand behind him what he says with ICE. I put up something yesterday that talked about what happened with Iran and the fact that, why are we fighting them? We have so many other problems that we have. And that's another distraction, another point of failure for us to spread ourselves thin when we should be taking care of ourselves at home. And I thought about it for a minute. Someone said something, and I just said, listen, this is me varying my frustration over us not solving these problems. So I like the guy. I like the guy. I support President Trump fully, even in the decisions I may not necessarily agree with.
Well, fair.
I wouldn't be now if he came out that he was all over the Epstein files. I would shut down my podcast and I would run away. Because
he's only one man. There's so many layers of crap around him. I just
we're a lot like him, Casey. Like it or not, we are both a lot like him. Just less zeros behind our name.
I could argue that a bit.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to. I'd rather just support him because he's the leader of our nation right now.
I didn't support Biden because he wasn't a legitimate leader. We knew he wasn't a legitimate leader,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we got the talons of Israel in our skull, and it's not the Jewish people; it's this cabal-ish cartel. We've got. I mean,
I know.
we got a lot of issues that we have to decouple ourselves from, and those people don't want to lose power, right? So President Trump's got to take the fangs or the claws out of us one by one, while at the same time making sure that we're trying our best to get us across the finish line, right?
What do you make about him mandating no regulation on AI for 10 years?
I think it's a mistake, and I'm in AI. The
Yeah.
amount of damage that I can get done in AI in 10 years is unheard of. I can do some crazy things in AI right now that it's chilling. It would chill you, right?
10 years is kind of game over, you know?
Well, I want you to pay attention to some of the other things that he's doing too. And by the way, the data centers, that's if you have stock in a data center company, sell it. Because I now can build a computer that big that can do what an H100 can do, which is one of the top GPUs out there that's done by NVIDIA. NVIDIA spent billions of dollars on their LLM only to have throw it away, trash it. Huh?
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to yawn. My coffee wore off.
Yeah.
I'm all relaxed sitting down.
Well, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to go back and sell guns, and I got to do a 15-minute segment about all things to do with Coomer and everything else. But I appreciate you coming on. I hope it was worth it for you.
You got it. I enjoy it every time, and I'm honored. And we definitely have a different level of conversation I have with anybody else. So I appreciate that, and hope other people do as well. The governor race is going, I think, better than anyone would expect, considering how we came in and what level of normie I actually am. I think that the GOP is scared. The Vivek's camp is scared. Because they can't touch the contrast. And I'm getting word literally coming from within the Capitol building and people that work there quietly supporting me, saying there's a lot of people that quietly support me. They all knew Vivek was a mistake. They don't like him. They're saying that he's horrible behind the scenes to people and that don't let anybody convince me to get out. And that's very encouraging, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm telling you that everyone said to me same thing, right? That, you can't win, you're not a serious candidate, all the same thing they're saying to you. And I'm going to tell you, you're a very serious candidate and nobody cares who can solve the problems you can solve. So just hang your hat on that and just go crush their face.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on today.
Brother, thanks for coming out. God bless you. I'll send you some cash too. I meant to get it done last week. I just didn't get it done, so I'll support you. But everyone else needs to actually support you as well. So what's the website so they can support you?
It's putsch4ohio.com. Of course, Casey Putsch. You can find me on all the platforms. I'm largely on YouTube as Casey the Car Guy, and X, of course. Don't get all bent out of shape if I make a post that seems fiery. I may be poking the hornet's nest on purpose. But it is exciting for what's going on. And then, of course, we'll be putting out when we're having events upcoming and all that jazz. So I look forward to see people out there.
Casey, thanks, brother. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Have a good day.
One of my favorite people. I know I have a couple favorite people, but he's one of my favorite people by far. And he does things for the right reasons. And I think that we have to pay attention to that. And we have to embrace that. And we have to celebrate that because there are so many times that people don't do things for the right reason, and it leads us to a place of despair. I want to go through a bunch of things, but I want to talk about this post that I put up, Victor Marks, and then I'm going to let Patrick finish out the show with you Patrick, are you good with that? You want to finish out the show for me? So I'm going to start by just going through some of the things that we have. I put up that post that I put on Facebook. I'm trying to get it onto X now, so you understand it. But I put up a post, and this is in direct relation to Peter Marks. And I want to say Victor Marks. I want to say something that I think is important for you all to know. I don't take lightly the idea of running for office. And I think one of the reasons why they hate me so much and they attack me so much is because they hate me because they hate me. That's probably, I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but I embrace and enjoy everything that I do. I really do. I enjoy more playing golf and hunting and helping people. But even when I'm in the middle of a struggle, even when I'm in the middle of a fight, even when all the chips are stacked against me, I'm still enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because it's an experience, and I didn't experience it before, so this is new. And even when I have to write a check for something where I know I'm protecting someone, I'm like, that sucked. I still think about the fact of how do you come out the other side of it, embracing, I think, in a different way, embracing what it means. Well, this is going to be a little revealing. When I was younger, something bad would happen, and I would feel it in my chest, and my stomach would sink, and it would affect me for like 4 or 5 or 6 days. And I mean, younger meaning in my 20s, right? So, and then it was always when things were going really well and someone pulled the rug out from under me. Could be something I worked with, someone I worked with. It's actually the reason why I went to work for myself, is because I would be high as a kite, everything's great, doing all this great things, and then I would get pulled into an office, and I was 22, and pulled into an office, and they started screaming at me for something small that I did, and it was like it's fatal. And they're like, "Yeah, go home, Joe. You need to think about this." And I would think to myself, "How in the world is this real? I can't believe that," because I was learning how to excel and to be successful in life, and yet all these roadblocks were put in front of me all the time. I mean, all the time, like by people that were supposed to be on my team, that they said they were my friend. They'd turn me in for having a beer at lunch. I'm not kidding. Somebody turned me in, like he's sitting across from me and he's having a beer and he's turning me in for having a beer at lunch. You guys doing? That's not good. And I just learned that loose lips sink ships. And I learned that people don't want you to be successful. And I learned that people will say things, even in your family and people around you, they'll say things and do things because frankly, they want to hurt you. It's not true. But you start thinking to yourself, 25 years ago, I would think to myself, I wonder if that's true. Like, am I really that way? Did I really do that? And so I just want to encourage all of you that think that when things are final, like when you get to that place of despair, that you're not at that place of despair unless you decide you're at that place of despair. So enjoy it. Enjoy the, and that's what I was basically trying to tell Casey, is that I want you to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to get back to working the problem. They're taking you off your game. And Brian Rance sent me something earlier today that said, Joe, basically the same thing. My friend said, don't punch down. Brian, I appreciate you. You sent me something that said, hey, listen, just focus on who you are and solving those problems. And I just shared that with Casey because same applies for him. Now, let me put this post up about Victor Marx because I'm going to roundabout come back to that real quick. So Victor Marx has made it he has a victim mentality. He's running for governor of Colorado. And I want to basically say this for the people that I'm friends with that want to vote for Victor Marx. And I'm okay with it. You can vote for whoever you want. That's the greatest part about this is that I pray it is a fair primary. I pray it is a fair election cycle. But I had to say something because I wanted you to know that I didn't just come to a conclusion that, oh yeah, I'm not for Victor Marx. Here's what I wrote. What if I'm wrong? These words haunt me more than most. I see articulating my thoughts a responsibility I take very seriously. Yet I don't pause when I speak, and I don't choose my words carefully, although I would argue I do choose them wisely. In September of 2025, I said if Marx runs, I'll support him. I went even further, and I said I'd stand beside him. I did the quick nod and associated my decision based on three things. One, Shiloh Marx is an exceptional young man. Two, he caught me emotionally flat-footed with the assassination of Charlie. And three, he spoke with strength. Yet I was wrong. I went and met Victor Marx. I sat in the room and listened to him not be able to articulate much of anything. It was odd. I'm well trained on reading people and interaction, and the interaction was off. Then came the tour. He pointed to pictures of him and made sure I knew about each one. I spent years in the Middle East and Africa, and I'm familiar with several places he pointed out. Several pictures were, in fact, not where the picture was taken. Then came the RV. He was fixated on a bullet hole and left out that it was his brother-in-law. Then he rambled on about the guy he saved murdering another woman. The story seemed fine, but again, Victor was off. Kept grabbing at his ear, looking down, nervous. Then we went into the studio and indoor range. First, again, infuriating. First, again, infatuated with relics. And then, as a gun guy, I inspected the indoor range. Think highly dangerous, not reinforced. I told him I could help him get AR-500 steel that would make it safer and made recommendations for airflow. Again, Trent was there, and it was odd. It was an odd handled environment. Then we went back to the house, sat down on the couch, and chatted. I told him what he needed to do to win. Doge the state, address education, focus on 40% of the state who are invisible, and many other things that I've talked about. I asked him several questions, and he drifted off. Trent then said, okay, we got another meeting, and rushed me out. It was strange, and after that, I literally said to myself, this guy cannot do the job. He's not being truthful, and I didn't even know why. I decided to enter the race for several reasons, but all of them had to do with the messaging and the articulation of what was wrong with our state. They had no clue. I think Scott Bottom's the most sensible and understandable position. Scott Bottoms had the most sensible and understanding position. My thoughts were I would sit and listen to candidates and see how the primary went. Was there a viable candidate in the bunch? As I began to kick the tires and speak, I got attacked by Victor Marx. He lied about me. It was odd because I did not say anything to anyone. Nonetheless, I let it slide until the message and the numerous calls I got from the GOP leaders across the street that Victor and his group were calling and pressuring them not to include me in debates. This was before the second post by Victor where he lied and said someone attacked his family and he was not going to name names for dignity's sake. Problem is, his goons reached out to me to tell me I better back off and stop threatening Victor. Then the accusations of working and paying people to defame Victor. Absolute nonsense. The attacks continued and the lies stacked. I then looked into Victor. It was not the only one doing that. I've had a friend who is in Democrat politics. He called me to tell me he was in a meeting and everyone is afraid of you. I was frankly honored. If Democrats are worried and the ninja black belt is lying about me, something is amiss. That is when I dug in. Look, Victor is not Trump. I have heard they did the same thing to Trump. Trump has the IQ of 160 or more. Trump is a businessman. Trump is ruthless and kind at the same time. He does not make up stories. Others tell stories about him. He is silent until he is not. and he does not brag about superfluous nonsense. He commands a room, does not use props, and when he speaks, people listen. There are people who can speak to Trump's kindness, yet also his tenacity. Victor tells stories. None of it makes any sense. I'm bipolar, then I'm not. I have a level 3 brain injury. I killed a man at 7. My dad went to jail. I grew up poor. I saved 45,000 women and children from trafficking. I'm a 7th degree black belt. I was in the Marines. I was in combat. Well, not really. My name is Victor. Well, actually, it's Vaughn Kennedy. Nothing leads to nothing. Trump never ran away from debates, never asked for pre-prepared questions. He never said, I don't need a debate or give the people an audience. Trump never punched holes in walls, and he had a relationship with all of his children. Don't really need to compare the two. Victor is a paper tiger. Vote for who you want. I don't care. For 6 years, I've been fighting against the evil machine. I know what a con looks like. Victor is a con and not a good one. Do your research and stop letting the shiny object in production lead you off a cliff. I'm not wrong, but I'm willing to accept you where you are, not where I want you to be. If those who are a part of the establishment want Victor, run. I cannot convince you Victor is not who he says he is. You have to look at it yourself. Pray on it. Don't let the Pied Piper take another 4 years from you that you don't have to give. And if you still come to the other side and Victor, Vaughn, or whatever is your pick, so be it. But don't blindly give up 4 years to a man who cannot win. And maybe that is the plan. We get rid of the machines and the mail-in ballots. You would be foolish of you if you thought the radicals did not have another trick or two. Again, just my opinion from the guy who gave up a ton to fight for you in the last 6 years. All back to you, and whatever you decide is okay with me, we all learn differently. I don't like talking about Victor Marx. I like talking about policy. I like talking about what's happening in education, the fact they're trying to legalize taking away children from their parents because they won't affirm them, because they've been groomed in a school system that parents are running away from. I don't want to talk about anything other than the things that people in Colorado are facing, that they shouldn't have 23% of their mortgage or their rent be dedicated to the government. And that the amount of money that you have to give back to the government just to subside and live is almost unbearable. That the paw of government has now pressed down your chest and you can't breathe. Those are the things that I want to talk about. But Victor Marx keeps coming to the forefront. And he comes to the forefront because Victor Marx wants to be the thing that he wants everyone to talk about Victor Marx. Well, frankly, I'm tired of talking about Victor Marx. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of talking about a man who says that he is strong, and yet he walks around with a victim mentality telling stories that never happened. So you can make whatever decision you want. You can do whatever you want. But when it comes to Victor Marx, you're going to have to make a decision on whether or not everyone else is believable or Victor Marx is believable. Because when you're walking past victims, which we're really good at, we're really good at saying that Steve Bannon is a good man because he's been on our side. While the texts show a different Steve Bannon, a very private Steve Bannon that was trying to rehabilitate a pedophile that raped children in the real world. He was trying to justify to you why Steve Bannon, the pedophile protector, Jeffrey Epstein, somehow deserves your grace. Nobody that rapes women and children deserves your grace. No one. And anyone that would try to rehabilitate the character of a man while laughing at Trump and doing the things that he's done in private, all for what? I gotta give him a free pass. I do not give Victor Marx a free pass. I do not give Steve Bannon a free pass. And I rarely give myself a free pass when I do something that I shouldn't do. I just won't. I have to come back to you and I have to say, look, I'm sorry. I have to make amends, but I haven't heard an amends from anybody related to the Epstein files. And I certainly haven't seen anything that would show me that Victor Marx could lead the state of Colorado. You're just talking about another Joe Biden, an empty shell, who has no ability and is going to get run over by the political machine. And it'll be the same old that we've dealt with for the last 2 decades. That's what I think. So with that said, I'm going to do something really quick. I'm I am going to turn it over to Patrick. Patrick, I want you to have a great time. Yeah, let's. Why don't we throw it a break, and then you'll have Patrick in. Patrick, make sure you pray us out. Guys, if you could just pray for me, I'm going to be going to Chicago for an event there. I'll be with David Clements. I'm really excited about that. And I want to give you guys something to think about, right? And that is, let's step back from the Democrat, Republican, independent deal. Let's talk about what people really want. And I'm telling you right now, people want justice. They want opportunity. They want to feel like they're not struggling just to wake up in the morning trying to figure out where the next dollar is going to come from. That's what they want. And it's pretty universal, because these people, these slave masters, they've taken from everyone. So, hey, God bless you guys. We'll go to a commercial break. When we come back, you'll be joined by Patrick. He's got a bunch of stuff to go over with you. Please stay tuned. While you're on break, I want everybody to do me two favors, two things. One, pray for me. Two, share. Hit the share button, hit the up button on Rumble, do all that stuff. Bring people back to the break the thing that they're trying to do when I go live, which is trying to limit the number of people. So everyone hit the share button wherever you are. And when we come back, Patrick's he's going to be on fire. So God bless you. And we're going to commercial.
In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot.
I'm here to check out Ada Milan because of protesting. You know, you got kids down there on the overpass just about got hit by a car just a second ago. About caused a wreck. Sad.
We do have admins out.
You have like 1,000 kids on the overpass. One just about got hit by a car.
Okay, we did let the deputies know because the students that did walk out, the deputies are dealing with. They had a ICE protest on campus that was friendly and was supposed to be safe in the advocate.
This is for school. This isn't for kids shouldn't even be involved in that shit. This is for learning. I have to leave work because while I'm working, I have to worry about what you're manipulating my kids into listening to. It's bullshit. It's fake media. I want my son out of here now. Can you call him up here and get him out of here?
Can I get the students? That's right.
Aiden Lalonde.
I need you to write down the student's name.
Well,
Are you
should know how to spell it. It's his mother. Anywhere else you go, you say somebody's name, and you know you should
I
look it up.
understand that, sir. We just have, that's just a policy. We have the parents write their student's name. Can I see your ID?
Yeah, so that video had 1.7 million hits on Libs of TikTok, and it came out, I believe, yesterday. This is going on all throughout the country. Hi, everyone. Patrick back in. Thanks for staying tuned in. Yeah, we're going to have a little fun with this and also talk through the problem here, once again, schools. And right, we need to keep hammering away at this and showing it day in and day out until the message hits everybody in the face. This father got 1.7 million views because he had enough of the bullshit, walked into the school, said, my kid's coming out, I am pulling him. This protesting, you got 1,000 kids off campus by a freeway overpass, safety concerns, and all this is going on. Why? Because you have activism going on within the classrooms, because you have school boards that are hijacked by NGOs and far left-leaning organizations that are looking to corrode the youth of America. That is why this is happening, okay? Let's be real, let's be honest. Any school, any district that has allowed students to walk out without facing repercussions or consequences, their school board is 100% behind it in supporting the students' walkout, which means then you need to peel back the layers of who's sitting on the local school boards and who are funding these people to be in charge. And why do they believe it's more important for kids to be walking out of school, off school property, and protesting during the times of learning, right? If kids really are motivated and kids really want to be involved and kids really want to go protest what they see as an injustice going on, they can do it on their time. But you know what? They won't, because they're not seeing it as big of a deal as the schools are, right? The schools are using our kids to manipulate the hell out of them. And parents need to wake up. Parents need to do exactly what this guy did. Parents need to do what the other gentleman did 2 weeks ago. We played from Washington State, where he caught his kid protesting, or being told his kid was brought to a protest down in Washington, right? I believe it was in Seattle. And he lit up the school board recently too in a video, right? It's happening more and more. It needs to keep going on. We cannot allow this stuff to happen. And then what you really need to do is you need to get activated at the local level, and you need to actually do your research on who's running your school boards, your school board presidents, and all those representatives that you have. The people that you don't know anything about are the ones that are making these decisions, that are driving what's going on in the education realm. You need to actually educate yourself on who controls your school board. Period. And then after who controls your school board, number one. Number two, you need to look at is who's in charge of the actual legal department at your school board, at your school district. People completely turned a blind eye to this. Look at the lawyers that work for your school district on the school district's payroll. Look at them. Dig into their history. Look where they went to school. Look what previous work experience they have. All right. This is a long march through our systems, and you need to actually educate yourselves on who is manipulating the system against you. Right. We can't just be, oh, the teachers are activists. Right. The teachers can't do this if they don't have clearance. Right? Yeah, the teachers are saying what they want to do, but like if the teachers can't just pull kids out of class and like, we're going to protest. No, teachers need to be aware that it is okay and acceptable for students to leave the school building, and you will follow them, right? Teachers will not allow, teachers honestly don't want to get in trouble a whole bunch. So a lot of them will not allow kids off campus. So teachers had to have been told by either school leaders or district leadership from the higher ups that, hey, all good, no problem. Let the kids, it's their First Amendment. We have no place to do any of this, right? Now, if you listen, we have no place to stop kids from protesting. Oh, yeah, okay. If you listen to that parent, right, he brought up a major safety concern. And I used to be a dean at a high school at Hinckley. I was a dean at campus. I saw safety everywhere I turned because that was my job. There is no way I'm allowing kids by a public street. No way, no how. Okay, bad things can happen. Middle school kids, high school kids, 500, 100, 1,000. It's too many of them, right? They're going to behave inappropriately. They're going to make poor choices, right? We talk about in education all the time, you know, their frontal lobes not developed. They have trouble with critical thinking. They can't really rational anything, but yet we can allow them to change their pronouns, define what their gender is, allow boys to go into girls' restrooms, and then allow these kids just to walk out of schools all over throughout the country with no repercussions, causing major safety concerns. And guess what? Kid got hit today in Florida. Let's play that clip.
A student participating in a walkout at Palm Beach Lakes High School was hit by a car along North Military Trail. That child was rushed to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
And as tensions flared up, separate protest sites across our area, cameras capturing two people here, a man and a woman, appears to be maybe a student, struggling with police as officers tried to control the growing crowd.
These are picking up all over the place throughout communities, right? Kids are leaving schools, creating issues in local communities, ransacking gas stations. I saw videos of that recently. Stopping traffic, assaulting a couple in a park. I believe a mother and a child together because they were wearing Trump stuff, were assaulted in a park by local teens, right? All this stuff is going on because kids are being let loose, cut loose. First Amendment, wow, oh, you racist, you gotta let me, I'm protesting ICE, you're racist if you're not letting me do it, right? And this is the games they play, this is the language they use, this is the language the kids are taught by the teachers to use against the adults in the room. Because there are teachers that are trying to stop these things from happening, and they get labeled, they get called out, they get spoken to by the principal, and they go away into the corner. It's total anarchy in schools, especially left-leaning schools. It's total anarchy across the board, right? Like, take a look at discipline, take a look at behaviors, right? It's completely enabled all across the board. There's no accountability. I'm going to do stuff as we go on. I'm going to do some, if you don't know anything about something called grading for equity, I'm going to do something on that in the coming weeks, possibly a month or so. But that is a real root cause of what's going on in the education system. If you haven't heard about grading for equity, research it a little bit. And then if you have kids in school, take a look at your school districts implementing it, because that is a major concern. It's lowering the educational standards for our children. Then you bring in restorative justice into schools. We don't want to discipline, right? We want to actually have relationships, and right, there's no consequences, no hard line, right? So what leads to it? More anarchy, more kids walking around the halls, more kids just not following adult direction because they don't have to follow adult direction because no one's making them follow adult direction, right? Like us, we have laws we have to follow. What happens if you speed? You get away with it until you get caught. Just like if you go to school, but you cut in class until you get caught. Boom, consequence. Just like if you're cheating on your taxes for a couple of years, don't get caught, then you get pop. Right? IRS will get you. Just like in school, if you're selling drugs or if you start a fight or telling a teacher F off or, do something else to a body part of mine, you gotta go. Nope. Allow total anarchy, allow teachers to be verbally assaulted in school, allow them to be treated the way they are by kids too, right? It's a whole complete mess what's going on in the education field. And what I find funny is that the 80% of the teachers that complain about the discipline and the grading and the behavior, they can't put it together that's their policies in their face. Like the wirings get crossed, they don't understand that. But yeah, but then you have a real adult in the room, a real principal, respect. It happened in Pennsylvania. A gentleman by the name of Daniel Weber out of Wilson High School stood up to students while they tried walking out and walking off campus for a protest. This is how it's done.
Go back to class and we're good. If you stay out here, we will get your names. You will be suspended. Okay? That is your option at this point. Because you are operating outside the bounds of what was granted. That event was canceled. You left school without permission. Your rights do not supersede the school. So if you understand that, that is your option. If you wish to return, Dr. Damiani will let you in that door over there. If not, I will be getting your names. You will be suspended, okay? Those are your options.
What are we doing?
All right? Your rights do not exceed that of the school.
There you go. That's called being an adult in the room, doing what's right. And look at that. It's not popular amongst the kids, but it's the right thing to do. Keep them safe, get an education, because that's what the kids' jobs are. The kids' job is not to be a social activist protesting in the streets, taking over, holding grocery stores hostage and vandalizing gas stations, right? Like all that needs to stop. Kudos to Mr. Daniel Weber out of Pennsylvania. We need more principals like that. We need more school leaders like that. He let them know what the deal was. He said, you can do this, go to school, we're all good. But if you stay out here, bang, suspension. That's the way it needs to be, period. Okay, and he understands that, and he is right. The student's First Amendment right does not supersede the school's rights, right? Like, people get this twisted. First Amendment right is all an absolute. Not really. Not really, right? We're in a slippery slope here in America with First Amendment rights, but it's been established pretty much with schools and students. I'm fighting my own First Amendment rights case right now, and boy, I can't wait to see what happens. I cannot wait. It's absolutely unbelievable that in this day and age, in 2026, lawsuit started 2024, that you actually accuse the perpetrator of what they did, and then the perpetrator acknowledges and accepts and agrees with, yes, that's exactly what we did to him. And we lied about it when we told him. He only caught us after we published our numbers. And then the courts say, no, you can't get in. The courts say, no, as a school, you can fire him for identifying as an American, Scott Valhalla. And then Judge Rodriguez comes over the top and says, I also, not only you could have fired me, but I also should have included, or at least said and acknowledged, I should have had to acknowledge the systemic oppression of what people of color go through in America. Written by a federal judge in federal court paperwork. It's online. We had it on the show a couple months ago. It was absolutely unbelievable. That's the federal court system, right? But good for that guy being the man in the room, standing up, saying, no, 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 you 13, 14-year-olds, get yourselves back in school or you're going to get suspended. We're not doing this because I'm not allowing anarchy in my school. Good leader. No idea where he stands politically either, but simply good leader. Good leader. Addressed the issue, told the kids the concerns, explained to them that this was canceled and this is outside of the scope. So therefore, you can either go back to class and carry on or get suspended. That's exactly what needs to be done across the board by all principal leadership so that you can restore some type of order to the schools. Because the videos I've been seeing recently about what's going on, these aren't protests that are occurring. You have kids going in, vandalizing shops, getting into confrontations with regular citizens on the street, getting into confrontations with law enforcement, right? You saw that video? That second video, there was a officer wrestling with a high school kid. Like, are we for real? Why are kids going out and getting involved and doing and being allowed to be in a position to confront law enforcement in this manner? It's completely absurd. It's the ridiculousness that we talk about every day on this show. And then what you really get, you want to talk about indoctrination? You want to talk about activism? You want to talk about the schools being out of control? Check out this video by youngsters.
Kaylin. Hi, my name is Rafa. Hi, my name is Ulysses, and we're presenting The Story of Others. The stories of others, intertwining like brothers, trying to change and free from struggles, while at the same time hoping for help under the covers, unrecognized by others. We are all humans, no matter the race. No disgrace, we all deserve a place, and we shouldn't have to pick up our pace because a police officer is in our face or a crazy white lady sprays us with mace. We all are not thugs, and we all deserve hugs, and some of us won't even crush bugs. We're getting deported by ICE, and I can't understand why everyone can't suffice. We have might, so we must fight. Just for our rights, look at the future and set our sights. Fuck ICE. Cooked, our system is cooked. Booked, our president should read a book. Shook, every time we see an officer we shouldn't be shook. Look, we shouldn't be judged on the way we look. Light shines through the darkest times, no matter the bull. They will not fold if we all uphold the stories of others, intertwining like brothers, trying to change and free from struggles. We can shine as we work together, and who knows, maybe like the phoenix, we will continue to rise.
That video breaks my heart. That video makes me so sad. Those kids are so misinformed and down the wrong path. And it's nationwide. Not gonna lie, the lyric, if you listen to the lyric, it was a poem. It rhymed. They had their message, it was clear. But unfortunately, this is what's going on all across. And they're talking about, not about what we look, this, that, and the other thing. The problem is the commies are the ones that make us divided into these buckets. It's not outside. The commies do this to you guys. The commies divide us by different class, sex, race, gender, national identity, type of toilet paper we use. Like down to the littlest micro thing, they'll subsect us into different blocks, right? Like we don't do that. Like you're here for the right reasons, you're cool. Like, we don't care what color you are, what race you are. Like, you're here for the right reasons, work hard, believe in God, faith, family, country, right? And you're coming here for the American dream, not to steal from the American dream. The more the merrier, right? But like, these kids don't believe that us Americans believe that. When it's actually their side that believes everything that those kids just said. And they don't see it. Neither did the leftists in education. The leftists and commies in education, the ones that talk about equity, they're the most racist ones of the bunch. Because they group everyone together based on what they look like. If you're white, you're this. If you're black, you're this. If you're brown, you're this. If you're Asian, you're this. If you're trans, you're this. They do it. They're the racists. They're the segregists. They're the segregationists. Sorry, they're the segregationists. But yet somehow outside gets labeled as all this. ICE agents doing their jobs, deporting criminal illegal aliens with violent offenses, right? Like all this. They stir up all this stuff, making these kids hate their local law enforcement, hate the people that are attempting to keep them safe. The teachers do it, but it's enabled by the leadership of that building, which is then enabled by the school board, which is then empowered by the legal office in the school district. That is your criminal cartel in the school districts. Every one of them operate that way. Any legal department in the school district is not there to make sure what the school is doing is ethically or legally correct. What the legal department there in the school district is for is to make sure that the school district doesn't get caught for unethical or illegal behavior. Quote me on that. I'll have more on that tomorrow, by the way. Just ask Cherry Creek and their legal department and all the stuff that's been going on there. Absolutely absurd. But that is how the criminal cartel works within the school district. And then within the school district, when you branch out, right, they know they're protected in their blue cities and blue states by the courts. Criminal cartel expands. Leftists take care of leftists, regardless of what the Constitution says or what's best for America. And the education system is getting rotted to the core day by day. The education system is getting rotted to the core day by day. And I'm going to have one more video for you guys. Damon, don't kill me. Can you jump to C6, please? Cut C6, and this will be our last cut of the day. So yeah, this is a former teacher talking about the state of education in Colorado. Let's listen to her.
Colorado just reported that they are down 10,000 students because they are going to homeschooling. As a former teacher here, I find that quite interesting. And I think it needs to take some self-reflection to figure out why. Why are so many people going to homeschooling? I mean, my entire group is previous teachers. All of us were there and said, nah, I'm doing it at home. And I think that's some things that we all need to be thinking about.
Say less. She's 100% right. I'm a former teacher. I would not allow my student wow, he is my student. But I would not let my boy step foot in a public school out here in Colorado. Hell no. They cannot be trusted. And it shows you that they're not getting the memo either, right? They're not putting two and two together. The CEA, the state house, the governor, they're not putting two and two together that, wow, we lost 10,000 kids. That's a big nut of money, by the way, if you're in education. That's a big nut that's coming out of your budget. Why do you think that is, guys? CEA, why do you think that is? Colorado Educators Association, why do you think 10,000 students left Colorado public schools this year? Jared Polis, why do you think 10,000 students left Colorado public schools this year? Anyone in the State House want to chime in and talk about it with me on the show? I'd love to have you on. No judgment, straight up guest. Any guests from the Colorado State Legislature, Kyle 9, News Clark, if you know anybody that would be willing to sit down with me and just talk about why do they think so many people are leaving the education system, teachers and students alike? I would love to have that dialogue. I would love to talk to anyone in this chair that thinks the education system in this state is on the right path. I want to hear that. I want to hear, where do you think this state is doing well in education? Is it math reading scores? No, no, no. Is it money being pumped into equity? Yes, yes, yes. Money being pumped into activism? Yes, yes, yes. All while making sure our kids can't read or write. So if you are in charge of these policies in any school district, you're probably not watching the show, so you're probably going to get this from somebody else. Totally. Sit down with me. Explain to me how your investment in all these other things, protest, equity, trans, gender-affirming care, how all that's beneficial and leading to increased performances of students in reading and math and science all across the board. I would love to have that conversation with you. But I have a feeling I'll be talking to an empty chair because no one can actually logically debate that. So yeah, but I'm still throwing it out there. Email me, patrick@untamednation.com. I eventually get my emails checked. I eventually get them checked. But, you know, or hit me up at Untamed Nation on X. You know, drop me a line, drop me a little message. Love to chat, love to connect. Have a fair, open, honest conversation. Your facts against mine. Simple. So yeah, we're going to call that for today. We're going to pray it out. All right, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to sit in this chair today. It was a pleasant surprise. Did not know this would happen, but you keep surprising me every day. And that's become a new norm for me working with Joe. Thank you, Lord, for this great experience and teaching me patience and flexibility all in one. Thank you, Lord, for a beautiful, beautiful evening last night with my family, celebrating our boy's 4th birthday. It was a great evening. We appreciated it so much. I appreciated being able to see him for a couple hours last night. Thank you, Lord, for giving us some time together as a family. It's so needed. We spend so much time apart, hustling and bustling, not having time to connect, and then finally having some time to connect. It's a nice surprise, and it's a nice treat. So thank you for that, Lord. Lord, please continue to watch over Joe. He has a busy schedule coming up, traveling, going to be making a difference this weekend out in Chicago. Please look over him and keep him safe, and all the participants, and Mark Cook and David Clements that will be there as well. Please keep them safe as well. They are doing your work here, Lord. So please keep providing them protection. All right. Love you, Dad. Love you, Grandma. Love you, Grandpa. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and having me take the moment to talk to you guys from this chair each day. It's a welcoming and unique experience. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Also, I'm never mad at anybody in the chat, just so you know. Never get mad, but I will address it, and we will talk it out. And if you ever want to talk to me, feel free in the chat, email. You know, we're building family and community here. No hate, good dialogue always. All right? I think Jeff mentioned it, steel sharpens steel. Right? So just know that it's always coming from a good place here. I was not mad at anybody. I do come across very passionate. I'm going to steal Joe's words here. I'm very passionate. I'm a passionate mother effer. But I'm not mad at anybody, especially in this Untamed Nation family. But we'll see you tomorrow. Class dismissed.
The forgotten and the free, exposing rigged machines, Kuma's lies, dominions deceit, pays a grand each day, shielding truth from corrupt hall, but he won't back down, standing tall through it all. Hart and Tina Peters break the chains that bind her tight, hand count votes and one day bring the fraud to light. No more mailing scams, no machines to steal the night. Restore the people's voice, make Colorado right. Governor Oltmann, lead us bold and true. Badass for the have-nots, fighting through and through. Abolish property tax, cut the tolls away. Shrink the bloated state, let the people have their say. Rolling, it's our rally call. Truth and freedom rise and watch the tyrants fall. Untamed Colorado, strong and proud. We'll be one man for the people. Set our great state free. chains on you and me. He's running for governor for real liberty. Smash a fraud machine, pardon heroes jailed for the have-nots. Rising truth will never fail. One warrior defies the corrupt elite. Colorado reborn, strong on our feet. Governor Oltmann, lead us bold and true. Badass for the have-nots, fighting through and through. Abolish property tax, cut the tolls away. Shrink the blow to stay, let the people have the say. Governor Oltmann, it's our rally call. Truth and freedom rise and watch the tyrants fall. Untamed Colorado, strong and proud, we'll be one man for the people. Set our great state free. Governor Oltmann, lead us bold and true. Governor Oltmann, freedom forever, Colorado rise. Governor rise up untamed. In the heart of the fight where the wild ones roam, Joe Oltmann's calling, bringing truth back home. From conservative daily to this untamed fire, we shatter the silence, lifting spirits higher. No chains can hold us, no lies can prevail. Authentic and fearless on this rugged trail. Patriots gather under stars and stripes. Untamed nation, igniting the night. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Untamed nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave belong. Yeah, untamed and wild, forever strong. Play it again all night long. Break the mold, chase the real. No more games, time to heal. Joe's voice leads the untamed crew. Truth matters through and through. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Untamed nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave